Language is very, very interesting, especially when you speak the same language, English. In Canada, there was an online survey about how people decide to do, how they say certain words. If you go to the10and3.com, it'll give you the whole report. And it's actually really interesting.
We'll put the link in the description below. Hopefully we remember to anyway.
Yeah. I think we say that, but we never do it.
We always forget.
Okay. We'll start with the first one. Do you say convenience store or corner store?
Convenience.
I say corner.
I say, I'm going to Max.
Yeah, actually.
Or I'm going to 7-Eleven. Or I gotta go to the store.
It's one of those weird things, because I know convenience is used, but I think corner store. And, they kind of break it down into the regions here in Canada. Now, Quebec always is different because they speak a different language there. So we'll not ignore them, but just kind of go, meh.
Or ignore them.
But it's interesting.
It's weird, yeah. Like that there was a study done on this. But do you say
At
pop or soft drink?
Pop.
Pop, yeah.
But and the weird thing is like in Quebec they say soft drink, and everywhere else they say pop. So that makes sense. Okay, Quebec likes to be different. Toque is generally universal.
Americans don't even know what a toque is.
Yeah,
when you say like toque around an American, they're like, what? And like I would toque, like just toque. It's like it must be a Canadian thing, eh? Toque. Yeah. When I say a toque, I know what a toque is.
Yeah.
Like if somebody said a hat, this is a hat.
Yep.
Oh, hey, do you have a hat? I'd be like, yeah, I'm wearing one. No, they'd be like a hat. I'd be like, I'm wearing a hat. It's like you remember in the Simpsons, that episode where Burns was like, you need to shave off your sideburns, but he was talking about his mustache.
Oh yeah.
And the dude's just, like, shaving like
everywhere.
He's like, I don't have any. And he still has his mustache. Save off your sideburns. And he's talking,
Yeah.
It would be like that kind of confusion.
The pencil crayons, I guess people say colored pencils or leads.
I could say leads is weird.
Leads was the weird one. It's like,
but I could see colored pencil.
Yeah,
because that makes sense. Pencil crayon. I've always said pencil crayon.
Yeah,
because when you think of crayon, you think of like the colors, right? You think of the box of like 64 and why they have a white one nobody ever knows yet, and you think, oh, it's a pencil now. But I've never heard of what's this bunny hugs. I've never even heard a hoodie called that.
No, and it's only in Saskatchewan.
If somebody said, "Do you have a bunny hugs?" I'd be like, "What?"
Yeah. Now, mind you, because these are online surveys, you could get a lot of these people that are trolling.
Yeah.
But when they do 1,500 people, that's a lot of trolls to get in one little area. So that was one of those really.
This
weird
one I thought supper and dinner. I didn't realize that it would matter where you were that you said, because to me those are both the same thing. I say supper, I say dinner. What's for dinner? What do you want for supper? I always use both.
It's interchangeable.
Yeah. Like that one to me is the same.
Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of what it was kind of pointing out was, even though we all speak English, we don't necessarily use the same words.
This one is pretty dumb. Runners, running shoes, and sneakers.
Yeah, that one was rather interesting.
I use them all. I've used every running shoes, runners, sneakers. I use sneakers less because that doesn't make sense for some reason. I just usually say shoes.
Yeah.
I call everything shoes.
Shoes and boots.
Shoes and boots. I have boots, I have shoes. I have flip-flops, sandals, uncomfortable things that you stick between your toes. I don't wear those ones, but what was it? It was Kraft Dinner mac and cheese. I saw that one in here.
Yeah.
BC calls it mac and cheese. To me, when you're referring to mac and cheese and Kraft Dinner is the brand, the only one which you should eat. And mac and cheese is just a different brand. It's not the same thing. If you said mac and cheese, I would think, oh, you're feeding me Velveeta.
To be honest, until I realized that there was actually a non-brand called mac and cheese, I always thought Kraft Dinner was mac and cheese.
Well, it is, but
but if you would say, "Oh, you want some mac and cheese," I would assume you were giving me Kraft Dinner.
No, if you said to me, "Oh, you want mac and cheese," I would think you were giving me, the orange Velveeta ones with the noodles and the squeezy, cheesy sauce. That's what I would think you were giving me.
Okay. So they did one cabin, camp, cottage.
Those are three different things to me.
Yeah, I know.
Those are not even close
and
to
I
the
think
same thing.
that this is where it starts. This is the regional differences. In the West, we all call it a cabin. In Ontario, they call it a camp, which is...
Camp and cabin, not the same thing.
Yeah.
Cabin is a house you live in. Camp is something you do.
The activity you do. And cottage and
cabin,
yes. I could see the interchanging of those two words.
Yeah.
But a cottage is always a fancy cabin.
When you say cabin, I think of lake. When you say cottage, I think of like a field, acreage. And when you say camp, I think of tent or like a oil field camp.
Yeah.
So to me, those three, like if I was in Ontario and they were like, "Oh, we're going to the camp," I'd be like, "Okay." I would think there's like a makeshift trailers or tents or something like that, and they pull up the cabin. I'd be like, "So we're at the cabin?" What? You know? It's just weird how like it is very interesting where there's small nuances from province to province.
No, there is, and it's like, and then you see the ones that are like pretty much universal, like cranky is pretty much used throughout all of Canada, with the exception of Newfoundland, which is like crooked.
Well, them Newfoundlands speak funny.
Oh yeah, if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, you're cranky, but in Newfoundland, you're crooked. Something like that. And it's just like...
English language is the weirdest language ever. When you think about it, it is just weird. We have, like, there.
There.
I'm 36 fucking years old, and I have the hardest time with there. Like, I use THERE for everything. I know that
I was doing this with my kids. We were doing an exercise about their, different spellings and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, there are three different theirs, and then I'm like, there's there, as in you, THEREIR.
Oh, is like there, like mine, is a possession, right?
Well, it's more like it's a you aspect.
THEIR is place, right?
THERE is a place. THEIR is a person.
Yeah.
THEYRE
is they are. I know that one because that's the only three there.
No, yeah, but I forgot about they are apostrophized.
Yeah,
and it's like
they are is just like they are. It's just a shortened there. But especially, I find it weird, especially today, in today's world, with so much slang and so much abbreviations and stuff like that. Like, we abbreviate everything. What are those things called? The word where it's like LOL is laugh out loud. What is that? There's a word for that. Like, LOL is an
abbreviation.
Is it?
No.
Apex? It's a appendix. Where you... UN is like United Nations, but UN is the... what the hell is that word? Somebody help me out in the comments below. What is that? What the fuck is that?
You should have looked it up.
I should have, yes. But I just thought about it right now. But it's just weird, like, two. Like, there's three twos. Two, and two. A number.
Oh, yeah.
And there's TOO and TO.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask me the difference, because I don't know.
I believe TO is to get someplace, and two is a like possession of...
Yeah.
It has to do with... Sure. The English language is interesting.
So
now, that they went into some of the regions, and it's like a good example of this here in Calgary is it's Calgary, but a lot of people in Calgary just say Calgary. And it's Calgary. In Toronto, I guess they're showing in this one is like it's Toronto, but a lot of people are Toronto. Yeah.
Roof. A. That's what we say in Canada a lot. A. Imagine being somebody who, like, I took German when I was in high school, and I found it was interesting, but it was difficult. Imagine learning English.
From what I've been told, English is the hardest language to learn.
Oh, it's because we have so many.
It's because it's subjectional, I guess.
Yeah,
on.
I'm so glad that my wife is good at that stuff. Like I'm good with math, numbers. I'm good with that stuff.
Yeah,
but like English and nouns English, and verbs, I have no idea.
The English aspect.
I'm just glad that she's good with that. So our kids are.
Cutlery and utensils.
Same thing.
They are the same thing, but it comes down to, it's like, what do you say? Cutlery or utensils? Cutlery.
Cutlery.
So,
fork. That's what I say. Spoon.
And what a lot of these, what you find a lot on this is that there's a big divide between East and West, which has been kind of the way Canada is East and West. So on the East side, they say one thing. On the West side, they say the thing. And then you have the Newfoundlanders.
The Newfie talk.
The maritime people.
Newfie word of the day.
The maritime people that do have a different aspect of the language. You could, again, Canada is a weird example. Same with the States. This is where you can drive for a week and not actually leave the country.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas in Europe, you could drive for a few hours and leave the country. And the regional divide definitely explains some of the languages, because
I'm sure it's that way in the States too.
Yeah, I would actually love to see this survey
for the U.S.
Done in the U.S. to see pop,
soda. I could only imagine the silly words that in South America, like not South America, but like Southern America would be. Could you imagine? Oh my goodness, that'd be hilarious. They probably think the same thing. I remember I went to Arizona one time for watch a football game with a friend, and we were out for breakfast, and the waiter comes up, and we were talking, we're doing orders, and then he goes, "Oh, you guys are from Canada?" "Oh, yeah, how'd you know?" "Oh, I could tell with your accent." And we kind of looked, we went, "What?" Weird. Because you don't think, like, we have an accent. You don't think, like, when I'm talking to you, when we talk, there's no accent.
No.
We're just, and it's probably the same with, like, British, European people. They don't have accents and stuff like that.
Well, okay, the British people to themselves, again, there's probably a regional divide amongst British people, because somebody is able to go, "Oh, you're from Brussels," because I can tell you roll your R's or something like that.
And same from Newfoundland, from Ontario. I don't know if is it Ontario? I guess from words you use, there'd be the dialect difference. Not
there's
necessarily an accent, but...
Well, the words you use tend to...
like Newfoundland, you can tell for some reason there's an accent. How do people get accents? That's the weirdest thing, eh?
And that's what this whole report was about, was just, this is how people develop accents, is because you start using different words. And then how we say Calgary and Calgary.
Calgary.
Yes, Calgary. From the proper pronunciation of Calgary to Calgary, you get those slurring of words, and I quote that.
Yeah.
And that's how your accents start to happen, and then it just passed on from.
And then when you're drunk, there's a whole different language out there.
No kidding.
It's interesting. It's interesting that, like, when I read this, I was like, oh, that's interesting. I wouldn't even think that. I wouldn't even think those type of things.
Bunny hug.
Bunny
that
hug.
was the best one out
what?
of them all. Like,
how do you
out of left field? Like, everybody calls it a hoodie.
That's not even close. Bunny hug.
And that was the thing. That one just reminded me, is like, some people actually call hoodies sweaters.
Yeah.
I've gotten into that argument with...
a sweater, a hoodie has a hood on it.
Yeah, I know. I've gotten into that argument with the missus.
But a hoodie is something you pull over,
yeah.
Not zip up. Zip up is a jacket. Pull over with a hoodie is a hoodie. A sweater, no hoodie.
Language! That's... it's a good way to...
It's interesting. It's interesting. Let us know any quirky words that you guys use, and maybe educate us on pronouns and nouns. There, and there, because that's a big debate on the internet. When somebody doesn't use the proper there, ooh boy!
Oh, the Nazi grammar.
Or your. That's another one.
You are.
Yeah, like the apostrophe and then your. Like you are an asshole. You're an asshole. What's the difference?
You're asshole. You're an asshole.
Yes. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button in the comments. Don't hit the comment button. Type a comment below. And that subscribe button.
Let us know how you speak.
That's right.
Because we don't speak
we
well.
don't speak well at all. We speak a gooder English.
See ya.